Hey, Terry,
Yep.
why aren't you a Joomla moderator, mate?
Oh, I'm here, aren't I? Oh, you mean JSE?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're doing a all right job. You don't need me in there.
I was fully expecting you and a couple other people to nominate. So no election. This other guy, another Terry, he's in.
Terry Carter.
Yes, yeah, from the US.
Yeah,
Anyhow, he's active. He's there.
yeah, yeah. I'm a moderator on a couple of other forums, and not technical ones, but yeah, I'm just sort of quite happy to just take a step back and I'll try and answer what I can, but yeah, not every day is a good day.
Yeah, well, we do appreciate you are an active contributor, and without you, it'd be a much quieter place. So I hope you will continue.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating at times. Like
you're telling me.
The one that would be nice is people that ask for a question and then you spend the time answering it, and then they don't come back and at least say what happened to it, or they might, like one exception the other day was somebody answered mine and said, yeah, that fixed it, and then ticked the other guy's answer, which was that pissed me off. But
the longer you play the game, the more that's going to happen to you. That happens.
That was just an exception, to be honest. But the ones that get me are you spend the time, they don't acknowledge your answer even if they don't tick it, and then so I actually kind of keep a bit of a mental record of, oh, that person's asked the question again. I'm not even really going to.
Okay. Well, let me change your perspective, because
the people that do answer it, I go back and I'll try and answer more of their question.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Piss me off. I'm not coming back.
I hear you, but let me speak to you from a place of experience. Is that I have been in that exact same mind frame, and I know that burn that you're talking about, and you're not wrong for feeling it, because it does feel like an insult, because it's obvious when you've just plastered the page with all of this guidance and then it just falls flat. How, you kidding me? Or the other answer isn't anywhere near as comprehensive as what it's insulting. I get it, but don't forget, we are not actually there for the asker. Ideally, your answer is for everyone, and we're just helping everyone by answering that one question. So over time, your answer, if it is superior, will collect more of the upvotes than someone else's. So you'll get paid out more, and you shouldn't scorn the entire Joomla planet because that one asker.
Oh, no, I don't. I know who it is, so I don't reply to their I'm specific about who I don't like.
Okay, that's
too many people to spread the hate around. But no, I sort of do agree it, and some of the answers are very quick, but the ones where I kind of do it like some people do crosswords. I do it because, well, this is a whole, I'll go down and I'll find something about because I don't know anything about it, or something that interests me, so there's some benefit in it. And I also try and answer it as a bit more generically and whatever, but it's some of them just do annoy me.
I know, I hear you. I feel that. Yeah, sure.
Like, even though it's a couple of years ago, you pinged me about some guy because I was a bit narky towards him. I looked at it and he's answered 3 questions and asked something. He had 1,200 points. He'd answered 2 questions and he made all his points up in asking people's questions. And I just went in and said, the message that you've got is in Google. The first answer is your answer. Had you spent a couple of minutes to do it instead of me, you pinged me, so I pissed off for 12 months. I thought, but that's the thing. It's sort of, that person should have just asked. So I try and avoid the ones where you can see they've made no effort.
Yeah, well,
I do like your moderating where you tell them, hey, do this, do that. So
yeah.
Improve the question.
Sorry?
Where you improve the question.
Yeah, I don't like it when people just put a requirements dump where this is my assignment. Please do my assignment for me so I can get paid. No, I don't think so. That's what you get downvoted for.
Yeah, or I just had a little brain fart. I'll ask this question without
Yeah.
actually doing any effort. And
Yeah.
so, but no, it is fairly quiet though. It's not. It's actually I wonder whether you still
too
work
quiet.
there because I haven't seen you online here for a while. So
You hadn't seen me online here. Oh, I did miss a few.
I haven't
did
been
miss
here
a
much for Tuesday. So
few.
that's why if you want to pick another night besides Tuesday, that'd suit me. But yeah, so I just have something that clashes. So yeah. So
All right, we'll let you go. Thanks, Terry.
yeah, no. I do have a question. Do you you're mostly doing database work up there, or are you doing extensions, or what?
Me, I'm out of the game.
Yeah, that's what I wondered whether you was
He's
just
a ringing
socially.
Yeah, so I stopped working for Stewart
2 years, 3,
3 and a bit,
4 years ago.
4 years ago. And when I was working for Stewart, I was doing exclusively like extension development.
Yeah.
He would just say, I want one that does this. And then I'd fight my way and he would help me. And then that was a bit of an iterative process, which was quite insightful and fun. It was cool challenges and stuff, but I haven't done any Joomla development since then. None, zero for like 3 years. And this is why I'm insulted when I'm the most active person on Joomla Stack Exchange. And all these people that are on Joomla forum, and they're not actually coming over to the superior platform. They just stay over to the forum because Joomla owns it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm frustrated.
Yeah, but if you don't want to be the moderator of a Joomla forum because you're no longer doing Joomla, then you just say that's it.
Yeah, I absolutely could step down at any time.
And we have no moderators. Someone will either step up or it'll shut down.
Yes,
If people don't want it
actually,
to shut down, they'll step up.
yes. Well, that's what's a little bit scary is that this failed election is actually a marker that the community is not healthy when you don't have people that care enough. So in terms of, there are over 175 Stack Exchange sites, and they're all either growing or shrinking. And there are all these metrics to define the health of these communities. Joomla is just not healthy by many metrics. Like when you don't have enough contributors, you don't have enough Q&A, you don't have enough people that are interested in moderating. That all points toward it's crumbling. And what is it worth all the extra effort? Maybe it's not. And what happens if it all crashes down? Well, I assume it all gets migrated back to Stack Overflow, where it's horrible asking a Joomla question there because nobody supports Joomla on Stack Overflow.
No, I don't. No, very rare, unless there's a link back to it or something. I don't go there to Joomla. But that's the hope that they'll come to JSC anyway. But
well, I sweep Stack Overflow probably weekly to see if there are any Joomla questions asked. They're almost always downvoted. They almost never have an answer, and they almost never meet the quality standards that Stack Overflow expects. So they just dry up, they shrivel up and die.
So
and
you can't
ask, and I'm going, well, there is a mechanism to migrate. And sometimes I'll ask them to join JSE, and then I'll say, do you want me to help with the migration? And then I flag moderators and they sweep it across, but I can't do it from Stack Overflow. So I've got to tap on another Stack Overflow moderator and they shift it across, but it's all clunky then. What's good about it is that people who didn't know about Joomla Stack Exchange, I actually get them to come across and become a member and post questions there. So that's good, but that doesn't always happen. Then I've got other people who have a few hundred points on Stack Overflow and they're going, no, I want to ask my question here because I want these unicorn points in this community so that I can move up. And so they go, no, don't migrate it. And I'm going, but no, the whole point is to have all the Joomla stuff over there. So I'm fighting against Stack Overflow's magnetism. So I feel like I'm just fighting the Joomla forum. I'm fighting Stack Overflow, and
but if you're not doing Joomla anymore, why are you doing the fight? Because
I like the people that I hang out with here, the locals, and I at least,
Never any of them actually on JSE though.
sorry?
Are any of them on JSE though?
Yeah, they're on it. They have accounts. Whether they ask questions, you probably haven't seen them active.
Yeah.
Not
I
recently.
only really know Stuart, so
Oh yeah,
that's what I've seen. Yeah.
yeah.
The guy that comes to these meetings, I recognise him occasionally, Glenn Arkle.
Mm.
Yeah, he's down in Victoria somewhere. So
I think maybe Nathan posted one time. Patrick has been a poster. So, but in terms of Brisbaneites, there's not too many of us. I think there's a bit of a fear factor, is that people are afraid to do that first post. But after you do that first post, it takes the edge off. So it's just getting started.
Yeah.
It's the hard part.
yeah, there's also JFE has its own way, like, and it comes from Stack, but you've got to be kind of very specifically target a question. So the Joomla forum, you can write any bit of rubbish and you'll either get ignored or eventually people will bash you into the detail that they need.
Yeah. They'll ask you 18 questions.
Like it's kind of, you got to be a bit creative about the question. Like sometimes I solve my own thing and I go, okay, how would I ask this as a question now that I know the answer?
Yeah.
And that's for other people to find. But
which is a great practice.
Don't do it very often, but
do
it occasionally. But but getting back to the no other moderators, like if you weren't moderating JSE, I'm sure Stuart and friends would still let you in the office, wouldn't they?
Of course. So what's my motivation? Well,
I'm just looking at Stuart. He didn't say yes. You said he was sort of just turned his head and looked.
Well, no, there have been times since I've left Stuart's office that he's given me a buzz on Skype and asked me to help him to nut out a problem, and I honestly love that.
Yeah,
I'm driven to help people naturally, and if there's something that I can fix or refine, that gives me a lot of joy. So that's why, to answer your question, why am I still doing it, is that it gives me joy. I still do it because it gives me joy. Every once in a while, there's a question that I can answer, and usually those are things that are asking how to manipulate database data or a regular expression or some, I don't know, rarely it's JavaScript. But if there's something I can answer, I want to be able to answer it. And I also want to make sure that if someone else answers and they might not be giving good information, that I'm there as a peer to review it. And I hope that you do the same thing. If something doesn't smell right, it's nice to have a lot of different eyes viewing the screen, because the more diverse the community is, if you have people that are from outside the Joomla environment looking in, they might see things differently, and vice versa. Is that if I answered something, but I don't know what you know, Terry, I mean, your knowledge of Joomla is immensely superior to what mine is, because you're using it every day and you have been for years. So if I say something and you're like, no, Joomla's got a helper for that, or you should be using this, that's not the right path to that, or that's deprecated, then in the end, the community wins, because you get that kind of diverse peer review. To answer your question about why I still do it, even though I don't have a lot of Joomla experience, I do have a lot of Stack Exchange experience, and I am really well positioned to barrack for the community and to help guide it and keep it in line with the other Stack Exchanges, and helping with migrations. And I'm active on different communities, so it just, I think it helps me to be part of the team. But I think it's a bad thing that I am half of the moderation panel. Like, I should be the 13th warrior. I should be the different one in a collection of actual Joomla moderators, and that's not what we have yet.
No, I'm just sort of curious whether you're there because you feel that if you left, then the whole thing's going to fall apart after all the work you've put into it, or
there's also that
if you're getting other benefits besides that. Because I'm just comparing it to a car club that I've been in for 30 odd years. The last election, we didn't get a president, we didn't get a secretary. And so what happens is you've got to have a club. So all these people put their hand up and say, oh, I'm the acting treasurer and I'm the acting secretary. They were the people that just stood down. It's like, well, you're either not going to do it or you are going to do it. And if you moved away, the club will continue.
Hmm.
If the interest is there, the club will continue. So I'm just curious whether you're in that same boat, if with the feeling that if you left, that there's no moderators, so it'll all tank.
I think that your car club example is rife across all organisations and meetups and everything. Since COVID, it's been a great excuse for people just to do nothing. It has been incredibly, like I'm in a little land sailing club, and it was hard. The discussion was, should the club fold, because I similarly couldn't get a president or a secretary. You know, it's ridiculous. People just can't be bothered, and they used COVID as basically like a break, and have never come back. And it's like the WordPress group used to get 70, 80 people, the meet up here. They get nobody. They can't even scratch together 3 people to make up half of a Drupal combined. It's ridiculous. I mean, we've maintained this group, and what we did with combining, you know, the hybrid model of online and, you know, and we met here at the office or wherever we met, that actually kept the momentum for this group. It has sort of dwindled a little bit, but you know, we've survived where others have not. But it's just symptomatic of all organisations at the moment. Nobody wants to put their hand up for anything.
Yeah, and you're right, correct. Like you just look at your Joomla organisation, it's you, Nathan, and Patrick, isn't it?
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm a bit like I am with JSE. I told Nathan, yeah, look, I'd like to do this, I'd like to do that. He said, oh, you have to come on a committee. And I was like, no, I don't want to be on a committee. I've been on committees for 30 odd years, and at some stage I was president of 3 of them at the same time, and I'm down to 1, and I don't want to get onto it anymore. But that doesn't mean you don't want to help and be a part of it.
Just not in an official capacity.
Yeah, and kind of didn't quite finish the conversation with Nathan, but he said, oh no, you need to come on the committee. And I said, well, I just want to do this one thing for you, and then that interests me, I'll thing. And you can have volunteers. You don't have to be on a committee. You can, like I am with JSE, I can just go in there and answer the question, and that's my contribution. And
no pressure.
Not so much no pressure, but it's a time thing for me. Like if I'm just a hack programmer. I don't come from an application world. I call it a reluctant programmer. I'm programming because I can't get what I want, so I've got to write it myself. And I've managed to find work with Nathan and Artful and some of my own stuff. So, but yeah, so there's only so many hours in the day. So if I put 1 or 2 answers or something on Stack a week or whatever, well, that's what I can do. And if there's questions I think that are template related, well, somebody else should be able to answer that. It's not my game, but yeah. So if you're not doing Joomla now, Mick, what are you doing?
So I am dedicated to a single project for the company I work for. They've got a few projects that they manage, and I've been assigned to just one of them. All the other projects are written in .NET Core, and I don't have any experience with C# or .NET or any of that. And we have decided to rebuild this PHP project in .NET so that it aligns with everything else. And when we build that, I will be groomed to become a .NET developer. So we're not quite there yet. In the meantime, I'm still the one who's doing the day-to-day PHP work, and it happens to be a CodeIgniter platform. So I didn't have any experience with CodeIgniter before this, so learning everything as I went. But I've been doing that for 3 years now, so I'm pretty comfortable with it, and I do like it. But yeah, my days with PHP are numbered. So, and I'm looking forward to that in terms of my career trajectory. Is that I've been knocking around PHP for more than a decade. So it's probably about time that I spread my wings a bit more. And the company that I work for, we've got 3 other guys in the office, including my boss. And we also have a team of Ukrainians that we pull from when we get overloaded or when we need to spread the work out a little bit. So I'm in quite a good, nurturing environment for my own growth. It was nice working for Stuart because he would always take the time to help me through a sticking spot. It was never like, I can't help you, go away, come back, let's talk about it tomorrow. He would always help me. And so the new place I'm working, if something ever doesn't make sense or I need to talk about it, no one ever just says, Mick, go away, you're so annoying. God, that's another question, come on. So I'm very lucky to have those sort of nests to live in and to work in. And yeah, I think I'll be successful going over to .NET. I felt the other side before. So when I first moved to Australia, I had a job in California doing PHP work, and that the client said they wanted to move everything over from our native, just raw PHP build over to a WordPress site. And I had no experience with WordPress. And so I was working remotely and working in a different time zone, and I didn't have anybody, like the support was almost nothing. And I didn't even know where to get started. Like I just floundered. And eventually I said, guys, I'm running the clock and I'm charging you, but I'm not really helping you. I said, I think it's time to cut me loose. And I had a child. And so I just sort of left. But then when I needed to get back into work, that's when I got with Stuart. And he said, have you heard of Joomla? And I said, what's that? So
it's interesting because Joomla 4 is a lot nicer than, well, not a lot nicer than Joomla 3, but the direction it's taking, you can see it's going to be better from a developing type of point of view. And Joomla 5 is, the bit I like is they're actually going to include a lot more documentation in the code. So instead of seeing one line of list model, which is fine, that's what the class says it is, they're actually going to be starting to put stuff in there. So it's a shame that you are moving away because it's actually, I think, becoming easier.
Yeah.
Some of the technology that they're putting in there, because I got all these ideas that I just haven't been able to work out how to do in Joomla. At least in Joomla 4, I can see that some of the things I want to do and the way I think we should be building apps or extensions, which are basically interconnecting ones, not everything sits in one app. It should be nicely, which there's another issue with databases and whatever around that. But yeah, so Joomla 4 is, I think, heading in the right direction. So it's a shame you're moving away, but that's life.
Yeah. My career really is at the discretion of my employer. So if they said, oh, we're going to build a Joomla site, I go, okay. So I just sort of go with the flow, whatever.
Yeah, no, you pick up the skills. But I agree with what you say, having someone like Stuart there to bounce your ideas and talk and whatever, that's what you don't get when you're sitting at home working, and JSE, because you've got to ask such a specific question, doesn't allow you to sort of say, I need to do something like this.
Yeah.
And get that sort of groupy feedback.
Yeah, that's more of something that you just splatter on, as you said, the forum or on Slack, or if you've got a compatriot that you can ring up. Yeah,
and that's the thing. And that's actually why I ended up in the Melbourne Joomla user group. I mean, when I got involved, but I kept going to meetings hoping to find somebody else that was into development so that I didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
Eventually I worked out that nobody here develops, they all do templates.
Yeah.
And so I had about 3 bites at it and eventually sort of got it enough over the hump to sort of, then got lucky with a job through Nathan, and so otherwise I'm just taking me way long. But,
All right, well then I'll never ask you again to be a Joomla moderator.
Tonight's tomorrow night might be a different night. But no, it's something I'll keep in mind.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go grab something to eat and a beer, but we'll see you at the next one.
Nice chatting, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, good to see you.